I'm here with my January reading wrap up. I read 14 books last month. I started the year with The Long Game by Rachel Reed. This is the second book about Shane and Ilya, and the sixth book in the Game Changers series. This is probably going to be season 2 of the show, and I'm so happy that we have one more story to look forward to with Unrivaled. Then I caught up on all of the Bridgerton stories with When He Was Wicked, It's in His Kiss, On the Way to the Wedding, and Happily Ever After. So sad that the book series is over, but luckily I've got plenty of adaptations on Netflix to look forward to. Then I binged His and Hers. I read the book and watched the show within like a 12-hour period. What a wild ride. If you've read the book or watched the show, you know that the ending was insane and absolutely satisfying. Then I read Restore Me by J.L. Seegers. It's about a widow falling in love with her husband's best friend, but little does she know that he's loved her from the very beginning, from before she ever met her spouse. This is really encouraging me to read more indie stories because this should not have had to become trad pub for me to have read and loved it. So I'm going to be reading way more indie in 2026. Then I jumped back into my Robin Hobb journey with finishing Ship of Destiny. This is the third book in the Live Ship Traders series. And what a beautiful ending, but so many revelations and so much justice. Really enjoyed this one. The Willful Princess and the Piebald Prince by Robin Hobb as well. It's set several generations before Fitz and his story, and it's some very well needed context about how the wit was added into the royal bloodline and its impact on the Six Duchies. Fool's Errand, which is jumping back into Fitz's story. This is the first book in the Tawny Man trilogy. And when you're with Fitz, just know that you're going to be prepared to suffer. Then I devoured I Don't Wish You Well by Jamata Emil in one sitting. This is about a series of murders that happens in a small town. As he uncovers the truth of what actually happened, he's grappling with truths about himself as well. Then I fell in love with Daggermouth by H.M. Wolf. There is nothing like this book. This is dystopian. There is a true enemies to lovers romance. Sometimes dystopian romance can be less heavy on the social awareness and more so concentrated on the romance, but this is so perfectly balanced. And look out for a full review that's going to be out later on this week. One of the most important books that I've read, and I read this in one sitting in tandem with audio. This is One Day Everyone Will Have Always Been Against This by Omar El-Akkad. This is about his experience as a journalist, seeing the atrocities that have happened across the world close up and the excuses that people make to justify them. While this is true of probably every atrocity that humanity has ever committed, this is most specifically talking about Gaza and Palestine. Then I read Real by Kennedy Ryan, and this is so much more than what I expected. It follows a breakout Hollywood star and her director trying their best to stay professional, but they just can't help but be drawn to each other. There are trials that they both go through in this book that they go through together,